Om Namah Shivaya children. We'll see the difference between list and string and similarity between that and all. First of all, we'll see what are the similarity between list and strings. You know the various similarities are, first one the length. Okay, so second one is indexing. And third one, when you see, it's membership operator, and the next one is concatenation and replication operators. You know, yesterday, the previous class, I asked in one test, many of you wrote wrongly. You see, the two operators plus and star can be used along with your strings, accessing individual elements. The last part is accessing individual elements. You know how to access by means of the index. By means of the index, we can access. So the length returns the number of items in a list, and indexing and slicing returns the item at index and returns a new list containing the object. L of ij. So indexing and slicing, you are going to give the range for making it as a slice, a piece of it or a part of it. And then next one is when you see the accessing individual elements. You see here accessing individual elements. When you, how will you access? You see there is a list called, there is a list called vowels. So in that vowel list you have a, e, I, o, u, and the next one when you see vowel of 0. What it is vowel of 0? What it is displaying? It is displaying a. And similarly vowel of 4, vowel of -1, like that you can display the elements. So suppose you are considering the elements from the left to right, right to left, you have to give the index as -1. That also we already learnt it. Please kindly consider this. Then next one is difference between list and strings. So what is the difference? The first one is storage. So what is the mainmost thing we are going to see under storage is storage. It is lists are stored in memory exactly like strings, except that what it is, some of their objects are larger than others, so they store a reference at each index. So each index will be given a reference instead of single character as in string. So like each element will be given an index in list storage. Then whereas there it will be considered as individual character when it is getting stored in the memory. That means what I said is the strings, the storage of strings in the memory is different, and the storage of list in memory is different. And the last part is mutability. That is mutable. You know what is the meaning of mutable? You can just mute, change. Strings are not mutable, whereas you can change the, you cannot change individual element of a string, but list allow you to do so. So there is an example given, and there's an example given. Yeah. Now you see the difference between these two. How, for example, let us consider a vowel list, vowel of 0, that is A. So suppose you are asking to print vowels. You see the top of the screen. If you are asking to print vowels, what it is happening? It is displaying A, E, I, O, U, the vowels. And vowel of -4 means it is displaying E. So this is an example where it, you can just notice it changed the element in place. That is A changed to capital A and E changed to capital E, and you have given the change like that, so it has done like that. Then list operations. When you see the next thing is list operations, there you can see the different topics like traversing a list, joining list, and repeating or replicating list. First one is traversing a list. First one is traversing a list. So how will you traverse Traversing means going from first element to the last element. So you have to use the for loop and look at the printing given. You have printed like that. So you have to the above list will be printed like this. Then the next one is joining list. You can join the list by means of the join the list concatenation, that is called as concatenation. You can use the plus operator. You see, the for joining we have used the plus operator. We have used the plus operator. For joining we have used the plus operator. And the last one is, when you see, it is the replication. Replication means repeatedly printing. We have to use the star operator. So these are all still how we are going to do slicing and all, we will see in the next video. So we can traverse, we can join, and then we can even concatenate, and you can replicate. So these are some of the operations we have done inside the list.